So the Oklahoma Sooners ended the month of October on an absolute heater on the recruiting trail, and good news for OU fans, it looks like they're picking up right where they left off. Because yesterday, Oklahoma fans everywhere anticipated that they could get a big-time recruiting win. However, what I don't think many anticipated was that they would not only get one win, they would get two. Two big-time wins that today we need to break down, as three-star athlete slash linebacker Marcus James and four-star athlete Trynae Washington both commit to the Oklahoma Sooners. Before we can jump into all of this, y'all know the drill. I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments. Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you excited that these two talented individuals commit to the Oklahoma Sooners? And let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification as I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like and comment down below, as we are less than 50 subscribers away from our 20,000 subscriber mark, and I would love nothing more than to have you a part of this unbelievable community. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And where do we begin? Do we begin with Marcus James? Do we begin with Trynae Washington? Or do we begin by giving Brent Venables and this staff their flowers as it's due? Oklahoma was on an absolute heater in the month of October, both in the class of 2024 and the class of 2025, garnering the attention of top-level athletes, making top prospects top lists, and still they start the month of November with two massive wins. And this is a conversation and a theme that we've talked about multiple times here on the channel, but indulge me once more, Oklahoma fans. It's wild to me to see the success of Brent Venables on the recruiting trail. He hit the ground running whenever he inherited this team from Lincoln Riley. Got Oklahoma a top 10 recruiting class and a top 10 class in transfer portal acquisitions, one of only 3 programs in the nation in that respective recruiting class to do so. He followed it up the next year with, once again, top 10 recruiting class, top 10 class in transfer portal acquisitions, and I apologize off the top of my head, I don't remember how many teams were able to list a top 10 recruiting class and top 10 transfer portal acquisition class. What I do know, it's highly impressive to have both. And now we go to the class of 2024, where Oklahoma currently sits with a top 10 class in the recruiting rankings. And if we look way ahead to the class of 2025, I know, way too soon to look that far ahead. 2024 hasn't put ink to paper yet. Heck, we haven't even had early signing day in 2024's class yet, but that's not stopping these coaches from already getting busy in that class. OU sits with the number 4 class in the nation in the class of 2025 because of these big-time wins. So let's start with Marcus James, the athlete slash linebacker who, when you turn on his film, yes, he plays tight end, but when you see him play defense, it flies off the screen. He is an unbelievably athletic individual, and that shows whenever he plays tight end, but it makes complete sense why Brent Venables is excited to get him into a college strength and conditioning room and transition him full-time to linebacker, because there, I think he could have an unbelievably bright future. He stands 6'3", 210 pounds, and has all the prototypical athleticism you're looking for, but once he gets into that college strength and conditioning room, works with Schmitty, works with the other guys there, practices against D1 athletes day in, day out, he is going to blossom, in my opinion, and that's why this is such a great get. And secondly, can we go ahead and just label the Carl Albert team the Carl Albert Sooners? Because at this point, it's ridiculous how many wins Brent Venables is stacking at that high school. But once again, that fits into the thematic of the conversation we've been having for so long on this channel. The stark difference in the manner in which Brent Venables recruited as compared to Lincoln Riley, where with Brent Venables, you're getting entire full classes. You're getting cohesive recruiting classes. Yes, Lincoln recruited well, but they weren't cohesive classes. They were just good recruiting classes. Brent is getting you good, cohesive recruiting classes, and to put the cherry on top for Oklahoma fans, he's keeping talented prospects that are located in the state of Oklahoma if he can help it. And that is a welcome addition for most Oklahoma fans out there. And he wasn't done yesterday. Marcus James, already a massive win, but if you can double down, why don't you double down? And that's exactly what they did. They also got 4-star safety slash athlete Trynae Washington, and this is a kid that I think is going to be flying up the recruiting boards. If we look at On3, he's a top 300 prospect. If we look at 24/7 Sports Composite, he comes just outside the top 300, and what that tells me, it's probably likely that this is a name you need to go ahead and circle. Every year, I give you a few names that off the top of my head, I'm like, hey, keep up with that name, because they're going to fly up the recruiting boards. I think this is a name that you need to be keeping up with. I think this is a kid that could fly up the recruiting boards, and that's great for Oklahoma. You want to get in on the ground level on some of these recruits, especially the recruits that are in your backyard, and show them we have supreme faith that you can come here and play winning football before the rest of college football figures out that young man can go to their institution and play winning college football. So for Oklahoma, the wins just keep on coming, and there are still several big prospects in the class of 2024 thereafter. I know OU fans everywhere are going to be hoping that coaching staff is continually chipping away at Williams Nwaneri, and why wouldn't they be? I think it's going to be very, very difficult to flip him, but why not try? And he's not alone. I think Oklahoma's staff has done a phenomenal job on the recruiting trail, and I really can't wait to hear from all of you. How do you think it ends up? Let's start with the class of 2024, where right now Oklahoma currently sits as the number 7 recruiting class in the nation. And a question for the viewers out there that love recruiting, where do you think Oklahoma ends up? Because I don't see a world where they drop out of the top 10 because they have been recruiting at such a high level, and then we can start talking about something that is well in the future. How do you think Oklahoma ends up in the class of 2025? I can't wait to hear from you, but this is the thing we do need to acknowledge. Brent Venables has been recruiting at an elite level, and we need to give him his flowers. This is very impressive to see, and if you're an Oklahoma fan, I can imagine you're really excited. Hop down to the comments, let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See you.